covering average. Now, hopefully some of you know, or most of you know what averages are, how to use the average formula, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a more of an in-depth, detailed review of the average formula and what kind of questions you'll actually see on the exam. So the average formula, once again, if you've looked at the previous video, you'll note that I discussed about the average formula. The average formula is the sum of numbers over the number of numbers. And once again, ever since third grade, you've been using this formula, so you should be very familiar with how this formula works. So if I give you a very quick and easy example, and I say, hey, I have a list of numbers here, 2, 2, and 2. What's the average of this list of numbers over here? And you would say, well, hey, this is very easy. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 6 divided by 3. Sorry, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the average for this list is actually 2, right? So the sum of numbers for this is 6 over the number of numbers, 1, 2, 3. And of course, 6 over 3 is 2. And that's the average, right? It seems pretty straightforward. So let's actually do a straightforward question on this side of the board first, and then we'll move on to the types of questions that you'll actually see on the exam. Because I'm afraid, unfortunately, you won't see this type of question on the exam. I highly doubt it, because this kind of question is too easy. Once again, Jack scored 82, 90, 72, and 92 on his exams. What was Jack's average? This is a very simple question. There's nothing sophisticated, or they're not trying to complicate the question at all. All you do is a very straight across, use the formula. You have 82 plus 90 plus 72 plus 92, all over the number of numbers, right? So 1 exam, 2, 3, 4. So he's taken 4 exams altogether. And there you go, you go out and get the average. So what's 82 plus 90 plus 72 plus 92? That is 336. 336 divided by 4. You should be able to get the answer as 84 as the average. So the average of all his 4 exams he's taken is 84. Once again, not so complex. But these are not really the types of questions you'll see on the exam. So let's go ahead and cover now what kind of questions you actually will see on the exam. These are the questions you're more likely to see on the exam, actually. You have to really manipulate the original formula, which is average is equal to the sum of numbers over number of numbers. So question number 1 reads, Jack scored 85, 64, and 76 on, I don't know why her, I'm sorry, it's his math exams. What score must he obtain on the next math test to have an exact average of 80? Okay, as soon as you get this question, as soon as you get these kind of questions, and rest assured you'll see these types of questions, or at least one, go ahead and write down the formula first. Average is equal to the sum of numbers over number of numbers. Okay, I like to do it because it always helps me visualize what I have to actually manipulate. Alright, so let's now go ahead and try to plug in some stuff in the formula itself. I know I have these exams grades over here, 85, 64, and 76, and I do understand they belong on the top over here, so I can go ahead and do that. 85 plus 64 plus 76. What score must he obtain on the next math test? Okay, it's very important. All right, before we go ahead and on to this point, let's go ahead and finish this. To have an exact average of 80. Exact average of 80. Okay, so the number of numbers is equal to the average. They're telling you in this question that the average should be 80. The average should be 80. Now, what is the number of numbers? Do not be fooled. Here is one where you can actually mess up, okay? Do not put that the number of numbers here is 3. It's not 3 exams. The question is saying, what score must he obtain on the next exam? So there is a score for the next exam. So you have to put plus x, right? Here's your variable. Plus x, you don't know what the test grade is. Plus x, so 1 exam, 2 exam. So he's taking 4 exams in total. Now we have a very nice equation set up. 85 plus 64 plus 76 plus x divided by 4 is equal to 80. And by knowing that, we should go ahead and be able to find out what score he will need to get on the 4th test to maintain the exact average of 80. So let's go ahead and solve this. Over here, we'll solve it over here. So we'll do 85 plus 64 plus 76 plus x is equal to 320 over here. And then if you add these numbers up, you should be able to get 225 plus x is equal to 320. And then, of course, please subtract both sides. 320 minus 225, and you should be able to get x is equal to 95. So basically, on his fourth exam, he needs to get a 95 test average to get a overall average score of 80. So your answer would be 95. So this is one of the questions you can definitely expect to see. And if not, you'll probably see an exam question that looks like this. So first, let's go ahead and go over here, even though I know we skipped number 2. So Jack has taken 6 exams, and his average for this class is 83. What score must he earn on the next exam to make his average 85? Once again, what I would suggest is automatically writing this formula down. Average is equal to sum of numbers over number of numbers. Let's see what kind of information they give us. He's taken 6 exams. His class average is 83. Okay, fantastic. Not so hard. Okay, I'm going to actually go ahead and show the work over on this board over here. He's taken 6 exams. His average is 83, so this is the average. The sum of numbers, which we don't know, is the number of numbers, which is 6. This is what I have so far. What score must he earn on the next exam to make his average 85? Okay, for these kind of questions, what you always do is first find out the sum. Very easy, you multiply 83 times 6. What's 83 times 6? 498. The sum of this is 498. So 498 is the sum. The sum of the 6 exams he's taken is 498. And now you can move on to the next part. What score must he earn on the next exam to make his average an 85? So what's going on here? The average is 85. And he's taking another exam. So if he's taking another exam, do not put 6 here. It's 7 because he's taking another exam. And now simply find the sum. 85 times 7 should give you 595, right? So this is the sum. Sum of this is 595. So for this part, the sum is 595. For this part over here, the sum is 498. What do you think we have to do now to try to get the answer, right? What score must he earn on the next exam? You take your second sum, the bigger number, 595, subtracted by 498, and you should be able to get the answer, which is a 97. So 595 minus 498 results in a necessary test average score of 97. Jack must score a 97 on his next exam to make his average an 85. So the answer is 97 for this kind of question right here. So these are really the variations in which you can see. You have to understand that you must be able to manipulate the original average formula over here. And finally, the last question we're going to go over right now is the rule. If you've watched the previous video, you'll remember that I told you a very important rule that you should definitely know is in a consecutive series pattern, the mean is equal to the median. So this is a slightly tricky question if you don't actually know this rule. What is it asking you? The average of 7 consecutive even integers is 20. What is the median? So right off the bat, anytime you see the word consecutive, consecutive, consecutive even, consecutive odd, right away, try to use this rule that I've just taught you, okay? Try to use this rule because I'm sure you can use this rule one way or another to your advantage. The average of 7 consecutive even integers is 20. Okay, very easy. They're telling you that the average is 20. Well, hold on. I know my rule. Average is equal to the median. What is the median? Very easy. Well, it's still 20. So the answer for this question is 20. So hopefully we'll review these types, more of these types of questions on your test prep book, and hopefully the overview of the average formula helped you better understand this portion of statistics. Thanks for watching the video. Please be sure to check out our book on Amazon. It's a specialized high school test prep book. This book comes with 5 full-length exams with answer explanations along with a manual to go ahead and better prepare you for the exam. You will find the link on the video or in the description above. Have fun studying!